Hello everyone, my name is Yamonh. I'm from Sri Lanka Universities in Bangkok, Thailand. The topic I would like to present about is the poll system. It is a winner-take-all electoral system. It is actually a barrier for the ethnic minorities to be included in the decision-making process of the parliament. So I would like to present about that. So extra, I would like say, problem statement is that this electoral system is not creating the inclusive decision making in the parliament because they are marginalized, they are excluded to be included in the decision making process in the parliament. That's why they cannot raise their voices, and then this intent it became it resulted as an equals access to the public services and integrate opportunities in the politics. So that's why this intense it happening the conflicts in Myanmar and impact on their human security. So yeah, for my projects, I mainly focus on these three questions. So what are the barriers by the first portable systems, and then why, how it impact on the human securities, and then the last question is that which type of the system for redesigning the first portable system, maybe what is the possible ways to take a remedy for that. So yeah, I also research with the documentary research approach. So yes, this my conceptualizations for the audience to be more clear about that to my project. So like we can see that first part the poll system, this electoral system is a course and it has an impact on the effect on this ethnic inclusiveness, and then the final impact is human security. So this is all about my project, conceptualization. So before going to the next slide, I just would like to talk about Myanmar elections. So Myanmar has been always struggling with its democratization issues and then ethnic conflict issues. So Myanmar has 3 elections under the 2008 constitutions because constitutions design is designs provided the provisions for the electoral system. That's why it's really connected. So yeah, so 2010 elections, it is really how can I say, the winners are the military-based parties. A lot of the fraudulent events fall. That's why it's not equal. It's not fair. So in the 2015 election, it's the first place openly contested election, and it also opens space for the ethnic minorities to enter to the political landscape that actually two-party dominance has resulted. So the last election, 2020 election, is also taken by the entity, so pro-democracy party as a leader, how can I say, as a largest parties with the dominance vote. So that's why we can see that in the history of the election, ethnic party never get their largest votes. So my argument one is that there are a lot of the proliferation. So why I want to say this, that there are a lot of the political parties so we can see that among the political parties there are 2 types. Ethnic based party, we call the single ethnic parties, and that another party is multi-ethnic party because so military-based party, pro-democracy parties. So military-based party we call the USDP, and pro-democracy-based party we call the LD. So under that, there are a lot of the multi-ethnic members. So actually, only in the ethnic states, only within the ethnic states, single ethnic parties are concentrated in that area. So they have a lot of the, how can I say, better engagements are in the 2015 and 2020 if compared to the 2010. But the problem is proliferation because of, how can I say, because of the emergence of the many parties, they forgot about the, how can I say, to concentrate the party policies and the party ideologies to have the inclusive in the politics. They just only concentrate to, to form the political party. That's a problem. So that's why we call that weak institutionalization. Yes. So then I also would like to show this kind of the data. So in the, so let's say fragmentation, or the impact of the fragmentation is that we can see that the first role. So in the Shan state, in Shan nationalities parties and the other LD party, these kind of the Shan ethnic parties is competing for their state. So Shan state is the state of the Myanmar. So but they lose. Actually, the winners is DPMB because they fragmented. So that's why party fragmentation became the vote splitting, and this became the this became loser. So that's why this failure of the ethnic party. So another argument is that because of the first party pool system, it resulted as binders, two-party dominance and populism dominance, energy dominance. So we can see that data. So energy party, pro-democracy party, USDP, military-based party. These two parties is only leading in the Myanmar histories, Myanmar election histories are. And then it also impact on that seat position in the parliament. We can see that not only in the lower house, but also in the upper house, they always taking their first and second positions. Yes. And then the other ethnic parties have only a little numbers of the votes and only possess little, how can I say, numbers of the seats in the parliament. So yeah, this showing the two-party dominance. And then, so that's why ethnic party considers how about they march together. So that only party which implemented this strategy is the Rakhine Party. We can see the Rakhine Nationalities Democratic Development Party, so NDP, and then ALP is marched into as a one party. So ANP. That's why we can see the different results between the between these tables. So in the 2010 elections, Rakhine parties this is showing the among the ethnic parties. So the Rakhine party has been second place, but in the 2000 after merging, so our Rakhine National Party (ANP) became the first place. But still, this data is showing only the ethnic parties. That's why even they are massed together, they cannot compete with the national party, NLD and USDP. So that's I just would like to show their strategy. So because why they are losing, and even though they are massed, why they are losing because of an even playing and concentration of the support, and they are also losing the capacity of the financial and organizational resources. So as argumentary, it also concerned with the political geographies, and then why Myanmar has a lot of the ethnicity and regions, and so when the areas with densely populated area, we call that, so they can get a lot of votes. They can get in that area, they can form many constituencies, they can form many townships because Myanmar constituency are founded based on the township. That's why they can form a lot of that constituency when the state or region have a lot of townships. That's why it became the unequal vote. And another point is the constituency delimitation. So how can I say the township constituency are designed by based on the political geography or based on the political histories in Myanmar. So that's why. So for those constituency which have the larger population, they can get the many votes. Yeah, smaller population, little votes. That's why it happened, the inequality of the vote. And it also had impact on the mayor appointment in the parliament. So let's see. So argument 4 is that mayor appointment, so we call that disproportionate representation. So it's not equal the vote share and seat shares because like 2000 constitution in Myanmar, seat composition design is for the upper house and lower house is really constant. That's why. So we can clearly see that in that data. So for NLD, so they called that 57% for votes, but they called 80% seats in that parliament. But for the USDP, they got the 28% vote, but in reality in the parliament they just only got the 6.55 seats in the parliament. So we can see there's disproportionality. So yeah, that's a point that I want to say. That's why it also impacts on the region and state levels. Yeah, that's why in Myanmar. So because of the constitution compositions vote to the number of the vote to the number of the seat is really different. So another point is that it also related to the design of the seat compositions. In the lower house, we call the Piduludor, and the upper house, we call the Amyodaludor. So in the Piduludors, so the constituency is founded based on that townships below the electoral district. So it stays. We can also, how can I say, analyze on this, how can I say, population, concentration of the population. And we can see that Yangon and Mandalay is a capital city of Myanmar, and they really populated, densely populated. But for the state, Cayenne state, they only have the 5 townships. So that's why they can found the 5 constituency. Even if they win, they can get the 5 seats in the parliament. So it's really giving it as a little chance. And then another point is that upper house, it is the provision is limited. So it have to be, how can I say it? Provided as only the 12 seats have to be found, or have to be, how can I compete for each state and region. That's why like it is equally decided that for the state, let's say the Cayenne state, they have the 5 townships, even it split into the another populations, maybe like the largest township as another constituency. If they split it, they can get the total 7 townships. That's why if compared to the other state and regions, they are losing their chance. That's why this design are also how can I say also around for the ethnic minorities. And then it also impacts on the human security. Why it is connected is that ethnic party don't have enough seats in the parliament. We can see that in the 2010 they only got the 50%, in 2015 11%, in 2020 10%. That's why they cannot raise the enough preference in the parliament. That's why they cannot put their rights as an impact. Yeah, conflicts are actually happening, and as a result, discrimination issue, human rights issues, a lot of the human security issue is happening. So I also has been learning to the case study, but to save the time, I will skip about that. But in my paper, I also case study about the role of the Rakhine State and Rohingya issues. So yeah. But at least bottom is that proportional representation as a remedy, as implications for the better inclusiveness, it also have the same kind of the drawbacks that in reality for Myanmar, it is a possible solution because it can raise the societal democracy, and it is more favorable for the inclusion of the minorities. And then we can also learn about the New Zealand as a case studies. So in summary, you can say that first of all, the post system is enhancing the 2-party system, but another proportional representation system, it is enhancing the multi-party system, and not only about there's inclusion, but also it also, how can I say, support the human securities, because that's why, because it can more protect on the right of the minority. That's why it more protected for the human security. So as an inclusion, at the conclusion, the point I wanted to say, the first part of the system is enhancing the party recommendations, and by raising the probabilities through elections, and then it also how can I say, boosting the rise of the 2-party system and the population and equal and even playing field for the minorities as a result. And because of the unequal seizures made appointment in the parliament, and then because of the lack of the voices by the ethnic minorities, it impacts on the human security. That's why for Myanmar, proportional representation is possible remedies to cures to for the human security and better inclusive representation in the parliament. Yeah, this is all about my presentations, and thank you so much for your attention. Yeah, thank you.